Jewish tradition, the age of marriage. And this comes from Genesis 21 and 22, where Isaac marries Rebekah at the age of 40 years old. But how old was Rebekah? Well, according here to Genesis 21 and 22, we find that Rebekah was only 3 years old. And this is confirmed by all rabbinic scholars. This is why the law in Judaism for marriage begins at 3 years old.
So it seems like you guys will say absolutely anything to defend the indefendable. First of all, I'm not going to refer to any Jewish scholars because I don't hold them as an authority. My authority is the Bible. And as a matter of fact, why are you holding a Jewish scholar as a Muslim as an authority? They believe Jesus is not the Messiah. You do. So who's right? Anyways, let's see what the Bible says about Rebekah when she was marrying Isaac.
So, quick FYI, I didn't feel the need to chip this one in when I was recording the video, but now I'm thinking about it. It's actually important that I refute what he said. He basically made the claim that Genesis 21 and 22 says that Rebekah, or gives any clue that Rebekah was 3 years old. But to be honest, this isn't the case. When we look into Genesis 21, it actually focuses on the birth of Isaac, and how God promises Abraham and Sarah a son. And he basically fulfilling this promise. But at the end of the passage, at the end of Genesis 21, we see the conflicts that went on between Sarah and Hagar, where Sarah urging Abraham to send Hagar and Ishmael away, and then God reassuring Abraham that Ishmael will also become a great nation. Now in Genesis 22, it talks about how God tested Abraham, testing his faith by asking him to sacrifice Isaac, seeing if he will do it or not. And we know that Abraham passes this test, and the chapter basically emphasizes on God's faithfulness and Abraham's unwavering faith. Now, at the end of Genesis, specifically verse 20 to 24, this chapter is where we get Rebekah. This verse is where we get Rebekah, and it talks about it concludes about the descendants of Nahor, Abraham's brother, where Rebekah is introduced here as a member of Nahor's family, specifically the daughter of his son Bethel. So it doesn't talk about her being 3 years old when she was married or not. It doesn't, just wanted to clear this doubt. Just wanted to make sure that we're all aware of this lie that he made.
We're going to find this. You guys should note this down. We're going to find this in Genesis chapter 24 ongoing. In verse 4, in Genesis, it says Rebekah was a woman. That's what it says. In verse 11, it also mentions that she's a woman. As you go on, she's described as a young woman. Nowhere in the Bible does it say she was 3 years old. Now, let's just say she was 3 years old. Let's just give this imaginary Bible verse that says Rebekah was 3 years old. When we go to Genesis chapter 24, verse 20, we see that she draws water from a well for her camel. And we know that in order to fill a camel who is thirsty, you need approximately 30 jugs of water. Now, you tell me, whoever is watching this, I know you have intellect. Is it possible for a 3-year-old to have the capabilities or strength to fetch 30 gallons of water? You tell me, because I can't. I am not 3 years old and I can't do that. So you see the ideology of how someone tries to defend an indefendable acts by just grasping onto stuff that doesn't exist in the Bible, by the way. He took a whole big Bible and it looks like he doesn't read. So do not be deceived. Just read the Bible. All you got to do is read, man. Just read.